That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margaret
Begon. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo out.
Coming from all over the boxing world, saying that Terence Crawford might be making a huge mistake by fighting Canelo. After years of waiting, the fight between Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez is finally happening. They will fight on September 13th in Las Vegas for Canelo's super middleweight world title. Both fighters are seen as two of the best in the world right now. But losing this fight could mean the end of their time at the top. Interve.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you.
W3 Amir Khan has already warned Crawford about fighting Canelo. Even though Crawford feels confident, he once admitted that 2 things about Canelo worry him: his power and his size. Canelo is known for hitting very hard, and many of his fights have ended with a knockout. Crawford isn't scared to face him, but he knows the size difference is something he can't ignore. In September 2024, Crawford told TMZ Sports, "This fight is huge. You've got 2 of the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters going head-to-head. I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm ready. It's a very interesting fight." That quote shows that Crawford believes in himself, but also understands that this is not just any fight. It's a serious challenge. The risk is real.
Yeah, I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not.
Interveiw. For Mexican boxing legend Juan Manuel Marquez didn't hold back when sharing his thoughts about the fight. In a video on social media, Marquez said he believes Canelo will beat Crawford, and not just by points. He said, "I think it's a dangerous fight for Terence Crawford. Maybe Canelo wins by knockout." That's a strong prediction coming from someone with Marquez's experience.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks
And he's not the only one who thinks so. Many people believe Crawford is at a disadvantage in this fight because of Canelo's size and strength. Interveiw5. Super welterweight champion Israel Madrimov agreed with others, but he was even more direct, speaking to Ringside 2 for Madrimov. Said he doesn't think Crawford has a chance at all. Not even close, he said. Canelo is too strong and has too much experience at this weight.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour.
Great fighter, but moving up to 168 pounds is a big risk. Canelo's power and body shots will be too much for him. I don't think the fight will be close. Madramov's blunt opinion shows what many boxing experts are thinking. This fight isn't like the ones Crawford had with Spence or Porter. Canelo is naturally bigger and knows exactly how to use his size and weight to his advantage. INTERVEIW6. Bob Arum knows Crawford very well. He's a legendary boxing promoter who helped build Crawford's career and has praised him for years. But even Arum isn't picking Crawford to win this fight.
What do you think of Crawford Canelo? There's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him. But Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. What fight would make the most?
Why do you feel he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting.
Arum said, I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I said Crawford would easily beat Spence, and he did. But Canelo is different. It's an interesting fight, but I only see one winner. Canelo is used to this level, and I don't think Crawford can hurt him. But Canelo can hurt Crawford. Arum still sees Crawford as one of the best technical fighters in the world. But this fight isn't just about skill, it's about power. And in Arum's view, Canelo has a lot more of.
Now what the media is reporting, and it's circulating, is that Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov.
Eddie Hearn, a boxing promoter who has worked a lot with Canelo in recent years, also believes size will play a big role in this fight. Speaking to Boxing Social, Hearn said that Crawford isn't just jumping to 168 pounds. He only recently moved up to 154. Before that, he fought at 147, then 140, and even 135. I just think the size is too much, Hearn said. He also pointed out that even in Crawford's latest fights at 154, he didn't look physically strong or dominant. This makes the jump to 168 even more difficult in Hearn's eyes.
Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you
of
feel
course,
big.
yeah, I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess
Hearn mentioned Crawford's fight with Israel Madrimov, saying Crawford didn't look comfortable against a strong fighter at 154 pounds. Now he's supposed to face a much bigger and stronger opponent at 168. Hearn said,
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make.
I think he struggled against Madrimov, who's a strong 154-pounder, and he'll really feel it against Canelo. Still, Hearn admits that Crawford is a brilliant boxer. He said Crawford's movement, skill, and ring IQ will definitely cause problems for Canelo. But even with all that talent, Hearn doesn't think it will be enough to make up for the big difference in size and power.
Tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky?
With something rare for him. Anger. Since the face-off in New York City, Canelo has said he hasn't felt like himself and now sees the fight as personal. This change in attitude could mean that Crawford will be facing a more dangerous version of Canelo, not the calm, controlled fighter we saw against Golovkin or Ryder.Interveiw. 10 Canelo brought up his 2021 with Billy Joe Saunders as a warning for what might happen next. Like Crawford, Saunders tried to get under Canelo's skin. He did well in the early rounds and even looked like he might win. But then Canelo landed a powerful uppercut that broke Saunders' eye socket. Saunders didn't come out for round 9 and hasn't fought again since.
You and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Y'all know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city,
Canelo thinks Crawford is way too small for this fight. He pointed out that Jamel Charlo already showed what happens when smaller fighters try to move up. Canelo told Fight Hub TV, "It's more personal now because I used to respect him, I don't anymore." He said he wouldn't let anyone tell him what to do, but then he tried to anyway. Maybe someone told him to act tough because he looked nervous.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's physically kind of big, but height-wise, he's kind of small. So